It's been a long time since I've seen my last film.
Okay.
So it was great to kind of catch up with your own film.
Yeah.
And
see with an audience.
yeah, see with an audience, and most importantly, seeing with the actors who performed in it. Because they had not seen the film, and I was really looking forward to seeing how they react to the film.
Oh, and tell me, especially something like PTSD can be so easily trivialized because it's a word that's used so commonly. And now it's part of, which is good, which is a good and a bad.
I felt differently. I was associated with war. I don't know why, and that's a very long, huge kind of trauma. But that is not true. Trauma happens at very, very normal, everyday levels also. So I think this was for me very nice because it was very revelatory that ऐसा होता है. It's not that only war and this, or sort of. Military movies or even an earthquake, some very large kind of
like an extreme
yes,
like
yes, it's sort of mega trauma.
Yeah.
Mega trauma. It's not necessarily like that. It can be like this, and this is what this why your piece really resonated with me and sort of was very revealing to me. This kind of trauma can also lead to something like this, something very major.
Yeah. No, and exactly why when I read the script and beautiful script written by Aishi and Venki. I
Aishi Venki, very
first
writer.
Even being
Woo! Give it up, Aishi Venki! Writer represent!
They've kind of deep dived into this trauma, they've understood it, they've written it. Definitely the Empower team has kind of guided them. But I realized that in my film, the story about this 4-year-old girl who has seen an event and that's triggered the trauma in her and she's lived with it for so many years. That's happened to all of us. It's just the level that we have kind of seen things being affected by things is different. The level she was affected by was big because it was her mom who committed suicide and she saw it.
Yeah.
But I felt that it is so relevant that we all kind of somewhere deep down have these old little bit of these incidences we've been through growing up, which have stayed with us while we've grown up.
Also repressed.
Yeah, repressed.
That's why you go to therapy to
exactly.
delve into all that to understand why you feel a certain way at a certain point in your life.
Totally.
Yeah.
Therapy, which
I'm talking about that because my elder daughter is a very good therapist.
Oh yeah?
I know I'm sounding very knowledgeable and not because of her, not because of myself.
No, which is a great segue for me to speak to and to play the role of the therapist in it. And I think I'm really underutilizing the word therapist here because I think it's used very commonly, but there's so many different kinds of mental, resources for you to take care of your and calibrate your mental health. How, the role of the therapist it's so stereotypically portrayed, but yours was so realistic. I just want to know the process of what did you feel when you did that?
For me, I've been teacher for nearly 13 years in British school, where we were all, even when we were teaching other subjects, we had to go through these sessions to understand. So most of the time when you walk into a classroom, you have to talk to the students because they're very different from our Indian school of students. They're the expats children, ambassadors, kids and all. So when they come and live in a different country, they already are facing certain things which are very different from our culture. So as a teacher also you have to be prepared because the kind of schooling we have gotten is very different from theirs. Okay? So that was there. Rest of the thing, I'll be very honest, lots of people ask me that what is your process, how do you look so natural?
Yeah.
The only thing I can say after 40 years of doing this is that I just read. That's all. Because people talk about Meisner, Lee Strasberg. We all have gone through it. I'm sure others will say that too, because in theatre that's kind of hammered into your head. And you do read Stella or whoever. But when you actually walk up there, those things just start happening within you by default. You don't sort of stand there and think, oh, Brecht said this about alienation, and Lee Strasberg said that, and so on. It doesn't happen. Because when you're thrown into the situation, you just react to the situation. At least that's what I do with my limited knowledge. Nothing else I do. Believe me, I am a very, very straightforward person. No illusion about myself or my work. When people tell me, always say that I work very hard. The reason being that it's not my mother tongue, so I have to work doubly hard. When you grow up at a time when people are walking into this profession, and the first thing they look at you and say, "Oh, the looks are not right," you're rejected for those things. I don't bear that. But I definitely made a promise to myself. I don't have the looks, but take away my skill. Try and take away my skill. I'll make it so hard that you've got to take it. As simple as
Hi, Daksha, how are you? This is a question or this is a conversation that I want to have with you and your two little daughters. Yeah, your daughters. Now, if you're director daughters only, that's it. Three. That's great. Eating disorder, something that is so flippantly, I think, dealt with, and also, more than dealing with it, everyone seems to have a solution for eating disorder, and somehow you're not sure if it's the right, a solution or not. And with so many opinions about food and eating disorder, how did you possibly try to, just encapsulate it in the story?
Like Lilith ma'am said, primarily it was about relationships. For me, it was about, um, okay, also it's very personal, I've been through it, right? And I'm not ashamed to talk about it. So when Shalini, she's the EP of the show, when she came with the script to me, the actors were all locked and everything, and I read it. And my first thought was, this is too triggering. Do I want to do it? I don't. And then I was like, no. I mean, if I don't tell this story, then how would anybody else? And exactly like you said, that what my journey was, thankfully the script was written in a certain way. It was not preachy at all. It was more about two sisters. And that really resonated with me. So my whole thing was the journey that I have been through. If I can, in the most vulnerable and sensitive manner, bring out, I try to do that. My family never knew what I was going through because I would not lose होते हो, ये दोनों ब्यूटी के स्टैंडर्ड्स होते हैं. गोरे काले पे तो मेरा कंट्रोल नहीं था, खाने पे कंट्रोल कर सकते थे, right? I have fair, beautiful sisters, which is what the story is. Yeah. My two younger sisters are gorgeous and so thin. We come from a foodie family, and it started then. And then 11 years ago, something happened and something triggered because of some other thing that was going on in life, and whatever imbalance was happening in my body led to wanting to control a cup of hot chocolate and an egg.